Now we've got the flags on top of the stadium. Do you know a cool little fun fact about the flags on top of the real Yankee Stadium, Gordon?
Yes, they actually show you the standings.
They show you the standings, right? So they're in order from first to last.
Sadly, the Yankees aren't on this flag.
Yeah, sadly the Yankees were somewhere hovering in the middle with Toronto or whoever was in there.
That's very sad to look at.
Who came up with this? The ambulance right here beyond the left field fence. This is true to nature. This really exists in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, we actually sat down and when we built this stadium, we had tons and tons of photographs that we were using as reference, and we're looking and we're like, oh, there's an ambulance back there. And we flipped to another photo from a different angle someone else had taken from left field, and we're there's an ambulance there again. And every photo we looked at, that ambulance is there, and we said, of course, so it's got to go in the model.
That's in case someone chokes on a $12 hot dog. They've got an ambulance right there. How much will it actually seat?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I mean, if I had to guess, you could probably fit at least 5,000 or 6,000 people in here. The scale that we built this stadium to is actually too small to actually make people the real size they would be in real life. So these people are actually about 4 or 8 times bigger than they would be in real life. So
just pretend it's a bunch of NBA players coming to watch a Yankee game.
Right, or a bunch of fat guys, just taking up 3 or 4 seats each. You really need to add the human element to the stadium. Otherwise, it's just a model of a building. And when you're at the stadium, it's not just about the architecture of where the walls are. It's really about the life and the energy of what's going on during the game and in the stands and everything else. So we said, you need to have people, right? So we came up with this way of making little itty-bitty miniature people without having to use the regular old Lego people. If we decided to make the stadium to that scale, the people would be much, much larger, and this stadium would be about 25 feet in each direction.
The players themselves, these are kind of cool. They look like they're wearing a mortarboard on their heads. They all look like little Brown University graduates here. But one of my favorite parts is if you take a look here at the pitcher, it's a representation of him throwing a ball. That's pretty cool. Who came up with that?
At first we had a pitcher and he was holding the ball, and we said, well, that's no fun. So we stuck the ball in midair, and there you have it. Add a little action.
Who is in the home whites and who is in the road grays?
I'd have to say, I don't know who's in the gray, but of course the Yankees are at home.
And that they're probably represented here by Gordon Goodwin's team that's up by 12 runs, I hope.
Hopefully. If it was this year, maybe not, but...
No, Sean, I don't want to be too judgmental and play the part of baseball impresario here, but I think part of your problem is that you have no outfielders.
We had outfielders, and I'm not really sure what happened to them.
They might be in the bathroom with that guy in the batter's eye.
Yeah, that's possible. Or they're hanging out on one of those, having one of those $12 hot dogs.
Are there any kind of cool secret features, maybe any built-in locker rooms or hidden spaces, perhaps, that you could show us?
One of the things we haven't yet added, we're going to add a locker room so that you can hinge up behind the Yankees dugout and see the guys down there naked, I suppose. We have a bathroom out there in the black, and we also added our own little special secret spot right here in the wall, which is the manager's throne room.
So this is where Girardi comes and he sulks after a Yankee loss?
Yeah, exactly. You spend 3 years working on this, and you figure, well, why not stick in some goofy stuff? I mean, it's a toy. Actually, the thing I think I like best about the stadium is the stuff that we're actually now just starting. All the cool little details everywhere, right? The faux ads along the scoreboard area and the facade and the L train running by the stadium, and starting to add the people going by and all those little fun things. That to me is the coolest part about it, because the stadium itself is simple enough to make it look like the stadium, right? But then you can really add a lot of personality and fun, and we're both having a lot of fun with it, doing all those cool little details.
I notice you have a little piece of rodentia running up the right field foul pole over there. And that's a little bit about what you were talking about, that little added detail that separates something that could be commercially produced by a labor of love from Gordon and yourself. It's truly a magnificent piece of art, and I want to thank you for giving us this little tour.